That's a teacher from Peanuts. I don't think Peanuts has a. Does Peanuts have a mom?
Yeah, it does the same thing.
Isn't it
Okay.
the mom?
All the adult. No, the teacher does it too.
It's every adult.
All the
basically.
adults, I guess.
Is that still a thing? Is Peanuts still a thing? Danny, did you show Johnny Peanuts? Snoopy?
Kinda. Yeah, he knows Snoopy. He has the Halloween book.
Nobody. I feel like nobody really knows the kids. Like nobody has any idea who they are.
Their most popular thing at this point, I think, is like the greeting cards. Like it's the only thing they're still like in. Like they're in greeting cards.
Are they? People still get greeting cards?
I think.
Fun fact: I forgot that we had a birthday party on Sunday, man.
You said that live.
I did.
I did not forget.
And I ordered some stuff on Amazon. They'll be here tomorrow for him, and he's gonna be like, "Boom!"
Whose birthday?
Robin's kid.
Robin's son.
When's his actual birthday? Do we know? Somewhere around there?
Mid next week.
Mid next week. Okay. Speaking of children's stuff, the Flintstones just went on Showtime.
I mean, that's just great.
The 94 one with John Goodman.
And Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis is in this one.
Rosie O'Donnell, and I don't remember the other one.
Nobody knows.
Elizabeth Perkins.
Yeah. Well,
and Halle Berry.
Halle Berry is the secretary, yeah.
Who was the bad guy? Who played the bad guy?
I'm drawing a blank.
I wanted to say Rob Lowe, but that's Wayne's World. I don't remember.
Wayne's World and Tommy Boy.
Yeah, it's a guy who looks like Rob Lowe.
Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah, nah, nothing.
He's definitely been in a bunch of other things. Twin Perks. Desperate Housewives. Yeah, he's definitely been in a lot of things.
Okay.
You guys watch the Stallone show?
No, I haven't.
Dad said it was good,
right?
but disappointing.
Yeah.
But ended disappointing.
Yeah. Don't have Paramount, and I'm not getting it for almost anything.
You could try it for 7 days, and boom.
The
I probably did that already.
The Last of Us is good. I saw the first episode.
Awesome.
Just wait till you get to the third one.
Danny. Third episode's good.
You're gonna be so thrown off when you see who's in the third episode.
I mean,
I saw the spoiler who's in it.
Okay, so you know he's in it, but wait till you see what he does in this episode.
Or you're not really a gamer anymore, Danny. Did you ever play this game?
I didn't beat it, but I played a couple.
Okay.
In the rain, so I'm just,
it was my PlayStation bundle when I got PlayStation 4.
Same, but I finished it. But yeah, that's the same way I got it.
And Mando.
Did you finish the second one?
Yeah, I finished both of them. The second one is
kind of boring.
It's not boring. It's just they kind of throw you a curveball and halfway through the game, and it annoyed me the whole time. Like the story is good, but it still like annoyed me the whole time.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's get this party started. Welcome to episode 351 SND Podcast, show that was supposed to happen next week.
You're the one that didn't want to do it this week.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got so confused by weeks. I got so lost Monday. I'm like,
I don't know.
We were just letting you roll.
And then I'm like, wait a minute.
I was like, you want to do a preview this week and then not do it next week? Fine, whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, but it makes more sense to do next week with the preview because the teams are there. You're getting at least the practice in.
I agree, but
yeah,
we were gonna do it this week. We're gonna do it this week. It's whatever.
You're on a roll.
Not much was gonna change.
In 2 weeks, we'll be taking off.
Right. We can do it. We gotta do one.
Unless it's an epic Super Bowl, we have.
Yeah, if it's a good one.
Yeah. So when the
We'll see.
Chiefs
Like, if
win
the-
47-0, we can call it a day.
Well, no, that means it would be a good at Super Bowl. If the Eagles win in any amount, then we don't have to do this show.
Or
Really?
the Mets make that dramatic trade for Otani and out of nowhere back before.
He doesn't
Yeah.
want to come to the East Coast.
Neither do I, but here we are.
That's all I've been hearing.
So the
Does he have
Brooklyn
a
Nets are
trade?
losing 44-13. So that's cool.
Who are they playing?
The Celtics, the only team that could do that on them.
Yeah, the Celtics are good. Speaking of the Celtics, we're gonna jump all over the place. That LeBron meltdown over the weekend.
Oh man, that was
absolute
the worst,
all time.
That was the worst no call I've ever seen. But the meltdown was just like, all right, LeBron.
That
Like
was,
you've never acted like that. You didn't even act like that when J.R. Smith forgot the seconds off the clock in the NBA Finals.
okay.
Yeah, but that one was bad. This was bad. He got whacked.
He got fouled 100%.
Oh no, it was just hilarious. Like,
But also, how
he
do you
literally
not
got he literally saw Bronny got shot in the head.
But
That
how do you
was-
not get a tech for reacting like that's a
But the other question
Because they
is,
know
technical
they
foul
know they
reaction?
isn't
messed
there
up.
replay in the NBA like they could reverse that?
You thought I thought so. Yeah.
I don't know.
Or
They
one of
must have
those
used it.
NFL
They must have
end of
used
the
it.
game. It's got to come from upstairs type of thing.
No, they must have used it.
They must have used their challenge. Also, you brought up JR in that thing. I guess I just never paid attention enough to hear what his explanation was, but I read it across a TikTok the other day of him explaining it, and he defended the fact that he just ran away. He was like, KD was in my face, and I was surrounded, so I had to just run away. And they were he was like, they were yelling at me that we had a timeout, but nobody would take the blame for not telling me we had a timeout or something like that. I don't know. He could have just said he forgot.
He tried to not take the blame for it.
Well, we all assumed he forgot the score or something, and he could have just went with that.
Yeah,
But no, he went with I didn't know we had a timeout because nobody told me, and KD was in my face, so I had to run away. Okay, it was just strange to hear
How
him.
about this?
like,
Speaking
do
of KD and LeBron, did you guys know that they have not been on the court in the same game in 11 straight matchups for their team?
No, that's pretty wild.
December 25th, 2018, the Lakers at the Warriors was the last time LeBron and KD both played in a game where their teams faced each other.
Are they all regular season matchups?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
because
cool.
the finals must have been the last time they did it.
All right. Okay. Well, then that makes sense.
Yeah, because 18-19, the Warriors
KD
didn't go to the
didn't,
finals.
The whole
'Cause
season.
they didn't play each other in the playoffs in 18-19. I think that was the year the Warriors.
Right, but the first year with the Nets, he didn't play the whole fucking year.
Yeah, I understand that, but
And
still,
LeBron was hurt last year. It makes sense.
yeah, but still, what happened to you can't just rest players anymore in the NBA?
Nah, they don't care about that anymore.
Well, they were supposed to shrink that down.
Well, they were trying to do you have to. It was like the NHL game, you have to have a legitimate injury.
Yeah, but I mean, it only
You
works.
have to miss it, and also you have to miss a game.
You
The
have to miss
NHL
a
All-Star
game.
game is you have to miss at least a game before or after. If you have a legitimate injury,
right. They made the rule, and it worked. And
Like
it
a
worked
week.
for every person except for the person they made the rule for, which
LeBron
is
James.
Ovi. No, which is Ovi. They made the rule so Ovi would go.
Well, he
and
missed
did-
one game last year, and
I
it
know,
was
he
the
just
game
doesn't
after
go,
the
and he
All-Star
misses the
break.
game. He doesn't care. For him, the way he plays, it's better off missing the game. So miss that game, miss an actual game. They don't care. They're gonna make the playoffs, and that's it.
He gets
Not-
an extra day off. He gets an
Right.
extra day on
It's an
vacation.
extra day off for him.
And then he lit up the Knicks, so there's nothing new with that. So same old Knicks.
You
I
watch.
just- I
you
just
pay
hate-
more attention. Are we
I
done
just-
with Tibbs? Are we over the whole Tibbs thing at this point?
I
'Cause
mean,
I'm kind of feeling like it's coming to an end.
People are acting that way, but honestly, no.
What's gonna change by bringing somebody else in?
It's not. We don't have a star. We have a lot of two guys. I love Jalen Brunson. Randall's redemption again. It seems like an every other year thing with him, unfortunately. And They just don't have that guy. We have just
Brunson's the perfect guy if you have the guy, though.
right. Well,
Okay,
look,
but we
look
said
what
that
he
about
did with-
Randall. We said that about Randall too.
Yeah.
No.
And R-
Like Brunson's the perfect ball handler to
and-
get that
And
guy the
RJ
ball.
Barrett is just blah. So
He doesn't want to be that guy. It feels like.
it's just they don't have that guy. They don't have that finisher. Unfortunately,
Danny, you pay attention to the NBA. Who's the next guy to like? Who's the next? Who's up for free agency? Who wants out? Is it? Are we?
I honestly,
are we at
Brendan
Dame
Roy still
wants
want out
out
of
yet?
Portland? Is Brendan Roy still in Portland? I feel like
Yeah.
he's still in Portland somewhere. That guy hasn't played in like 20
Does
years,
Dame
but I feel
want
like
out
he's.
yet? 'Cause
No,
that was a
I-
No,
thing.
Dame
haven't-
just re-signed in Portland.
I haven't been following because
All right.
the Knicks have so much draft capital, but it's like who really wants that? So
No.
I'm sounding stupid right now, but I've just been hate watching the Knicks every game, basically.
Okay.
So
Like,
the
it is
big
what it is.
free agent this year coming up, off season. Westbrook, which isn't really that big anymore.
Nope.
Chris Middleton.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the number 2.
Yeah,
That's in the-
Come on
If
down to
anything.
be another number 2 guy.
James Harden is on the list again because
No.
he's on it every
Nope.
year. Kyrie, nobody wants anywhere.
I don't know.
Fred Van Velt.
Fred Van
He's-
Fleet.
He's good.
He's good, but we just
But
signed
again, I think he's a 2.
and we just signed Jalen, so
Yeah.
It kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, Kevin Love's like 80 in NBA years.
Kevin Love is a free agent.
He'll be Kristaps Porzingis. Can we get a coming home video for him?
Love it.
They were flirting with him when they played the Wizards a couple weeks ago, like the beat reporters and stuff.
Look at the bright side. It's gonna be great.
He definitely realized that he fucked up. Obviously, not being in New York anymore. So
But
His
why would
stock
he?
went down. I mean, I wouldn't
Okay,
say his
again.
stock went down, but I would say like
I haven't been paying
off the
attention.
court stock went down.
oh yeah, definitely.
But is he still? He's still in Dallas, right?
No, he's in Washington. He got traded last trade deadline.
Okay, so let's see. I missed that. What did they get?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Danny,
Nothing-
what about
anything
Jordan
good?
Clarkson?
No.
Jordan Clarkson. He's
Okay.
nothing special.
I
They're
just
all-
hear his name all the time. So
Th-
Right.
I
so
mean,
the real-
like, yeah, he's a good player, but it's just the same
question
crap.
is
Like,
who wants out really?
the Knicks are in that ever.
there it is. I found it. Danilo Gallinari is a free agent this summer.
Wonderful.
Yeah, but he's
We're
on
gonna-
knee surgery with the Celtics, so I think the Celtics are going to keep him cheap because he's basically what the Celtics need is that guy off the bench that could get hot and be tall, I guess.
Rudy Gay still in the league. Don't worry, he's a free agent.
Celtics are winning 52-16.
Oh, we're trading Cam Reddish, right? That's
Yeah,
the
we're
plan.
supposed to. So whatever reason, I guess
Just whenever the Knicks get good young guys, they trade them away because they need draft
that
picks.
was a waste of a first round pick.
Speaking of waste of first round picks, Kevin Knox is a free agent this year.
Yeah. Well, they were in the same trade for each other.
DeRozan.
Well, that would be nice. I'm sure.
I'm going through a list of. This is just an article of NBA players likely to be traded. Cam Reddish is on this list. I don't really care.
Right. They're
Uh,
just using his name because of the Duke.
right. Jay Crowder. There's a lot going on with him lately.
Yeah, but he's a defensive guy. If Mitchell
Not
Robinson
really helpful.
Yeah, we need a star. We need that superstar, which we won't get.
Number one on this list is Pat Bev.
Wait,
Great.
Danny, that's only the first quarter.
Yeah. Yeah. It was 24-4 when I turned on the game.
There's numbers in here. I don't know, Vincent.
Wild.
No, it's the second quarter.
Well,
Nice.
yeah, it's about to start, or it started.
yeah,
Bleacher
it's
Report just sent out the report.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's 9:40 left on the second quarter. So, yeah, that's basketball talk, really. I don't know. I've just been hate watching them a lot. It's just that is what it is. Like when
Okay.
when you're like that team is just all right. They're 500. It's fun when they win. When they lose, it's just like, all right, whatever.
You're describing the New York Islanders.
Basically, the Knicks and Islanders are that Spider-Man meme right now. Basically,
Yeah, they're
Um.
in the same spot.
So might as well get into it. So good trade, bad trade, indifferent trade.
When they
Hopefully
announce the new contract for him next week, it's going to be great because it's already done. He just has to sign it.
So what happens in the All-Star game? He's obviously not
So
going to play as an
Bill
option.
Daly announced it today because you can't change what's going on because of numbers at this point. He will represent the Pacific Division because that's the division
Right,
he's
he's
supposed
never
to.
played a game. Yeah, okay.
But, however, he will be
He's-
wearing an Islander jersey during the skills competition, and his
Okay.
West Coast jersey will have the Islander logo on the shoulder. And
Interesting.
he'll be wearing number 14 like he's going to wear for
Oh,
the
because
Islanders.
they don't wear their team jerseys in the game. They wear
Yeah, they
They
brought
were
back
the-
the retro.
It
from the
was like
90s.
95 or 96.
Yeah,
That's
Like
something.
the 90s, they had a period. I actually had both jerseys growing up.
I'm actually like debating on getting the West Coast Horvat 14 with the Islander logo on it now because that's just like
Fun.
Oh, what number
Something
is it
you're
gonna
never
be? Is
gonna
it going to be
see.
14 or is it going to be 53?
14.
Okay.
I'm just happy he's giving a nice little nod to Chris Campoli and honoring him by wearing number 14.
Nobody's saying Thomas Hickey. The Thomas Hickey.
Thomas Hickey wore 7 different numbers and played 12 positions. Doesn't count.
So-
all I hear is Chris Campoli and Trevor Gillies and.
So
You
Is
can't
this-
say Thomas Hickey because he works for the team now.
That's a good point.
So is this the last ditch effort to find a way to sneak into the playoffs?
Yeah,
The
this
problem-
is
the
a very
stu-
last
so-
ditch effort, Danny.
Can I just say that we have the dumbest fan base of all time? Like, I
Well,
love
we
them
knew
all.
that for the last
They're so
25,
stupid.
25.
They're like, why couldn't they give Bailey instead of Beauvillier? Because who wants Bailey? And
Right.
also, look at Vancouver. They're looking to get younger, not a 35-year-old with 2 years left on his contract. A 22-year-old and Anthony Beauvillier with 2 years on his contract. 22, 23-year-old with
I
years
don't
on his
know
contract.
why anybody would. The only difference in that is their cap number, which is
25.
like what?
It's
like 500 grand, yeah.
No, Beauvillier is 25. But he was a little younger, but he's 25.
Age, yeah, I know. I'm saying his age, obviously, he's young, but like
He'll be 26 this summer.
that's a cap dump. It was not working, and they needed to, and he makes $4.5 million. It's too much.
It's so funny, like other sports, $4 million is like a bargain. In NHL, it's just like that guy's getting too much money.
Yeah,
It's really funny. But yeah, obviously with Beauvillier, he had awesome playoff moments for those 2 runs that he had in the conference finals. So
right.
he'll always be a memorable Islander and favorable whenever he comes back for alumni week in like 15 years. So
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
Well, Barzell's going to bring him back for all the playoff games.
The first in the lockout, the bubble.
yeah,
Same lockout. And he won the first like series they played against Florida, like by
Right.
himself. He scored like 5 goals in that series.
right.
Like,
He
in a
was red
4-game
hot.
series.
He was red hot that playoff run.
Right. So yeah, he was a playoff performer for the most part, but it just never clicked fully in the regular season.
Right.
And they got the guy by Horvat. He has 31 goals right now, but
he already leads the team in
Right.
regular goals, points, power play goals, and power play points.
his shooting percentage is through the roof, though. It's like
Right.
He literally could go anywhere on the ice and shoot.
So basically,
He's
he
like
was
Steph
the only
Curry clutch.
he was the only guy on the Canucks. Then it seems like.
they have a couple other guys, but he was doing most of the scoring. But it's not going to stay that like
Right.
he's not going to shoot that at that high of a percentage. So it's
Of
going to
course.
come down a little bit. But he's a very good player. If they lock him up, it's a good trade to me.
All right.
The only issue is the draft this year is stacked. So if they, if they have to go to the pick this year, which I would think is most likely, it's protected in the top 12. They currently would pick 14th, and obviously make the playoffs. It's whatever. But you could find a pretty good player in this draft at 15, 16, 17. So it's a risk. And
Again, they're protected top 12.
and the prospect they traded is also pretty good, but
You don't know what he's going to be.
You don't know. So
listen, people are already saying Ryan Smith 2.0 if this guy doesn't sign. It's like, okay,
See,
that's
lazy
care.
because he played for the Canucks and he played for the Oilers. I'm sorry.
Right,
but it's not.
But
even...
also the thing is that like I'm fine with that because that means Beauvillier, this draft pick, and Ratty is not going to mean anything. They're all going to suck because all the guys that are on the traded away never panned out to be anything. I think less in the league for another half a season.
Oh, I'm thinking Thomas Vanek as well.
That's what I was going to say. Thomas Vanek is the more accurate thing. There's still a month before the trade deadline. If they don't get back in the race or if they plummet, you send them out again. That's what happens. Or if you can't get an extension.
Right, you got 2 weeks to see if this works. If it doesn't work, you're getting a first-round pick back for him. Someone's going to be like, hey, we'll take him for a first-round pick.
He's the top guy on the market.
Mike Piazza Marlins scenario might be.
It could happen. I don't think it's going to. I think regardless,
the difference is this guy wants to be here.
Right, he wants to
Nobody
be here.
Nobody wanted to be in Miami.
Regardless.
Well, okay, he wants to be here, so that's cool. So, all right. So, what's any big plans for the weekend for the All-Star break, or just hanging out?
I think, Danny, I'm done.
There's
with
paint that's going to dry in a wall that I'm sure somewhere that I'm going to watch more than any of All-Star activities.
All-Star festivities in sports.
I call BS.
Maybe the Derby, because Pete.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's why.
I'll do the Derby.
Not in it, I'm not watching. No.
Fair enough.
If anything, they should be bringing like one of the things I like about MLB's show and Road to the Show is they have the Derby and they give you a shot at the Derby and they can let you play the All-Star game. Like, be a pro mode in NHL.
I think I only play the Derby in Road to the Show.
Well, knowing how much of Hardo Pete is, he'll be on it for the rest of his career. So.
Well, Didn't he say he's not doing it after he loses or something?
He's such a liar.
We'll see.
The way he acted last year, he's never not going to do it.
But that's the whole reason he wins is because he's the only one that tries.
Right.
Now he lost, so I don't know. Was somebody else trying? I don't even remember who the hell won.
Yeah, I don't remember who won. No,
I know. I think he lost to Julio Rodriguez,
right.
But I don't know who won the whole thing.
Might have been Vlad.
No, Vlad was the year he won.
Yeah.
2022 on Derby. Soto won it.
Oh.
Beating Julio Rodriguez. Okay.
All right. Yeah, whatever. Once Pete lost, I didn't care.
Exactly.
Whatever. We signed Jeff McNeil. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, let's jump into the Mets.
That was
so apparently there's like reports of Pete is already like in the works as well.
I didn't see that. Nice.
Okay.
There's been reports that they're like discussed. They're like they're kind of like, hey, this is what we're thinking. We're not looking to do it. We may not do it this year. It may be a next year thing, but
well, the funny thing about the McNeil thing, because you sent the link in our Mets chat. And then literally 5 minutes later, I look again, and it was done. I was like, okay, great. Stress-free.
The Martino said he was asking about it, and they were, like, quiet. So that could mean they're working on something, or it could mean it's absolutely nothing.
I mean, I'd be devastated if Pete doesn't stay.
After we just talk shit about how much of a hard over.
No, it's a loving, like, he's our
exactly.
Hardo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if he wasn't a Met, like all our non-Met fan friends, tongue twisting, long day. If we weren't Met fans, we would hate him. But he's a Met, so he's ours, and he's been so good to us since 2019. So. He's definitely up there for me in top 5 Mets that I've watched and rooted for. So,
yeah, I'd say so. And I think
teetering. He's definitely entering the conversation if he has another big season.
The one thing about him, and this could be the kiss of death. he's the one I'm most confident in. Like, he's just gonna roll out 35 to 40
Right.
homers and do his thing
Right. I'm
pretty
with you on that.
consistently.
I'm with you on that.
You don't see a big drop off out of him. Because that's just a baseball thing that people just have bad seasons and then don't.
Yeah, technically the bad season was during the COVID season. So
Yeah, and he still ended up with 16 homers in a 60-game season.
right.
So
For all things considered.
yeah.
It's 67-43 now, and that's her slowly waking up.
Don't call it a comeback. Here it comes. They're coming back.
Dun, 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 dun.
Speaking of now that you said it, Danny, since you brought up horse racing, did you watch any clips or anything of the triumphant Francesa?
Oh, no, I have it on DVR.
Okay, got it.
Why
I
even wanna know?
only saw his Brady take was
Yeah, that was the only thing I saw.
okay.
It was typical Mike.
Yeah, typical. I can't stand him. I can't.
I'm a bigger dog guy anyway, but yeah.
I hate them both, to be completely honest. I get we grew up with them, and I still have that feel, but I just can't with them.
That's fair.
I can't.
Oh, back to 30. Okay, 19. I mean 27. Okay. Yeah. So, all right, that's the Mets. That's the Islanders. Check. Knicks suck. That's 3 checks. Aaron Rodgers, where is he going? Hack is the Jets offensive coordinator. Oh, the Jet fans are expecting him to be a New York Jet by the end of the offseason if he wants to still play for next season. Thoughts on the potential of him coming to the New York Jets, Finn? On how weird in a different shade of green.
Favre did it.
Okay. I'm taking his, I don't want to say ego, but it is an ego, into account here. He is playing this season.
There's no way I would want to ever go to the New York Jets. That's just me.
I wouldn't want to go to the New York Jets either, but what I'm saying is I don't think he is going to, and I maybe he thinks about this. I definitely think about it. Can you imagine that they have to have one Hall of Fame ceremony for both of them? For Brady and him?
What's the big deal?
I feel like he wants to have his own thing. I feel like he's a prima donna who wants his own Hall of Fame ceremony.
Who?
So,
Aaron?
yes. To me,
he's going to Tampa. Got it.
Well, he's playing a year. He's at least playing this year. And I think...
Can you imagine, like, J.J. Watt was like, yeah, I'm getting a Hall of Fame ceremony. I got this. Brady's going to want to play another year.
I forgot about J.J.
And he's like, yep, Tom, don't forget your wallet on the golf course. You buy the drinks. New guy buys drinks.
I personally want him to go to Vegas.
So Carr comes to the Packers.
Well, I don't need Carr. It's just we're gonna roll with Jordan, but I want Darren Waller. Is one thing, and they have the same pick, a close pick. They have a higher pick. Yeah.
Oh, you think they're just gonna give you Darren Waller for Rodgers?
I think the package would be Darren Waller and a first.
For what? Rodgers?
So the Raiders pick 7th, and the Packers pick 15.
And the Jets pick what? I don't know. 12, 13. Yeah.
12, 13.
Right. Washington picked 16.
I'm fine with him going to the Jets. I have no ill will issues, whatever. But I would rather Vegas's pick and hopefully Darren Waller. To me, the draw of going back with Devontae is higher than Nathaniel Hackett, personally, in his head. But who knows? Like I said, I think he's gone. But I said that, We're going on 3 years in a row that I said this, I think. So
Right, exactly.
it is what it is.
And it's time to see what you got in a first round draft pick.
Correct.
Whether it's a crash and burn, or knowing the Packers, you guys fall into another franchise quarterback for the next 15 years.
It's not gonna happen.
It's like the Pittsburgh Steelers with coaches.
Well, yeah. But like, I mean, I've said this before that the odds of them getting a third one in a row are just so low.
Right.
They could have drafted Trevor Lawrence and it would have been fucked up. Like it's the law of averages. But
yeah, you're probably right.
They're also, I mean, they're just not in an ideal situation. Like, he's on the last year of him being cheap, right? So you got to figure out. You have to decide to pick up his option, and then he gets a year to prove himself.
Yeah, which isn't fair, but
which is not fair to him. And I mean, the recourse, not the recourse, the feeling among Packer Nation, and I've even seen some beat reporters say it. That's like you go in with him as a season, it doesn't go well, you tank and try to get Caleb Williams. It's like that's not a rebuild. Like that's not how this should work. But I think that's kind of how it's going to go. He's only going to get one shot, and that's kind of his. I feel bad for him for that, but we'll see how it goes.
For sure. So I know we have a long way to go for
McAfee.
Right.
What?
I have enjoyed him on McAfee, just kind of like being like, can everyone just shut up about me when you're not? I'm not there.
He does the thing more than anybody that I hate that.
But he's so condescending with that.
That's what it is. It's all the media does this and the media does that, and it's just you can't sit here and like intentionally be vague and be as like fucking condescending about shit as you are, and then expect people not to run with what you say. As you could see, I'm kind of over this.
100%, Ben. The enthusiasm is at an all-time low with you with that.
Yeah.
Do we actually think Brady's retired this time, or is he going to come back?
Yeah,
Rodgers doesn't.
Yeah.
Does he come back just to spite Rodgers? Just to be like, oh, you want to come back in the year? I'm going to come back in the year and wait for you to retire.
He was done in the Cowboy game. It wasn't even like I mentioned the last couple of weeks. He's that old boxer that's just gotten one too many hits, and you're just like, all right, well, nice knowing you.
He can't move anymore. Like he could still sit in the pocket and throw, but if he has to take one step, you're out. You're done.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's kind of also crazy. Like after last season, Byron Leftwich and Kellen Moore were like the most sought out coordinators in the league, and they both got fired.
Yeah,
right.
Kellen Moore quickly jumped the boat.
I think his was technically mutual, so it was really more about, all right, the Charger job is coming. Just let me go. You're letting everybody else go. Let's just move on, type of thing.
Except you're going to keep paying Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn's awesome. He's a good defensive coordinator. So
he's one of those guys like we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. Perfect D coordinator.
Right. He is that guy.
He wasn't a bad head coach. He just got beaten.
He just let Shanahan stop running the ball in the Super Bowl.
Did you see the? I forgot who
unfortunately, with those kind of losses, you're dead man walking.
Right. Well, yeah, he's like we said. You mentioned he's a great defensive coordinator, coach person, but it's basically the same thing. Like when he was the head coach, it was just the same thing but flipped. That Kyle was just the offensive, he just worried about the defense kind of thing. So it's just titles at that point. He obviously is making the decisions at the end of the day, and his head's in the line. But it's just really just, I think, titles.
Well,
at
that
point.
defense, his first couple of years in Atlanta were something else. They built it perfectly for him.
Yeah.
Did you guys see they were talking about Kyle's coaching tree and how he's building one already?
I didn't see the article.
Who?
And it's like,
oh, Shanahan.
Well, the two of them.
He's got LaFleur.
It's hard to break the tree of which one is him and which one is McVay. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're very similar, obviously.
It's a similar. Because I remember I read an article about this
McVay
this year.
Coached under.
If you count those two, it's 9 total coaches that are under their both tree, which I guess is technically Mike Shanahan's tree, right?
Here you go.
So
you start off with Mike Shanahan, right? Art Schnell, who got Callahan, Tom Walsh.
Okay, so these guys, Art Schnell, and the left side of this stinks.
Trash.
Stefanski's okay.
Kubiak won a couple Super Bowl. Won a Super Bowl, so you can't really. Yeah.
Did
he was
it
the
count when he had that
he was
crazy defense in Denver?
Yeah, that was like a John Fox. I still think that's John Fox in my head, though.
Okay, whatever.
I know.
It is kind of weird that he did win that.
Let's look at the right side is kind of where I'm looking here, right? So you got Taylor.
You got McVay, who's only had 2 guys come out of him.
It's so funny. You really thought it was more.
But look, if it's 9 guys when you add these 2, because then it's Matt, it's Taylor, Saleh, McDaniel.
Who's Getsy coaching?
No idea.
I think I don't know why he's on this list. I think did he just get a job?
I have no idea.
He was our offensive
coordinator in Chicago.
Oh, so the Chicago guy went with it, I think. No, the Chicago guy was nobody's connection. I think, if you counted Hackett, I guess it was still counting Hackett at the time. But between Arthur Smith and Hackett, Zach Taylor, McDaniel, Saleh, and all those guys are.
If you're going to count the head coach of the Bears right now, you would put him under the Frank Reich tree because he was the defensive coordinator.
Right.
In Indianapolis with him. But yeah, that right side of the tree.
Is where, any of all the success is.
Right. That's where the numbers are. And again, and even the article was like, this is the Mike Shanahan proof that he was such a great coach because it's really his tree.
Okay, so here's a list. This is as of 2022. It is the Niners and the Rams, obviously with the 2 of them. LaFleur in Green Bay, Zach Taylor in Cincinnati, Saleh. What's his flup in LA? The Chargers coach. Apparently Staley. Yeah, Staley. McDaniel, and which one is Minnesota's coach? Is not Stefanski. It's
that's
he's
O'Donnell.
That's the Browns.
O'Donnell.
Yeah. So those 9 are under the 2 of their tree, is what they say. So it's 7 guys in the 2 of them, which is a quarter of the league at this point. And I mean, a good amount of success there.
Absolutely.
It is definitely interesting, that whole, I don't know, situation.
Well, it was unfortunate. We might as well get into it. It was unfortunate that Purdy got destroyed in the second series and the game went down the tubes.
I've already found like I disliked Brian Dawkins, but I can tell you I'm gonna really hate dealing with Reddick for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had a year. He had an amazing year, and he's basically been a journeyman the last couple of years, and he finally put it together in Philly. So good for him. Yeah, turning into a modern day Reggie White this season. So
Yeah, I mean, I was unfair to the Niners to really even consider them, like consider how they played that game, because it went so downhill after he came out, and then he had to go back in. He couldn't do anything. It was just it was an ugly game. It was an ugly weekend, to be honest.
yeah, it wasn't a clean weekend at all. It was between the whole drop pass, and good job by the Eagles for pushing the ball up and getting in the playoff before they were able to challenge it. So
yeah, but that also goes back to where's that replay booth from upstairs that you've been using the entire postseason? Where's the league going? Hey, wait a minute.
Exactly.
So it kind of like, of course, goes back to that. Oh, was this put together because the league wanted it this way? The storylines. I know it's nonsense, but talk about coaching trees. Andy Reid's coaching tree going against each other.
Well, Andy Reid's teams going against each other. Sorry.
Oh, so you want to see an Andy Reid? You want to see a tree? That's the tree.
I feel like nobody has a really super. Like, who has the best tree? It's probably
it's funny. I literally just found an article from 2010 that is called Belichick versus Reid. Who's got the better tree?
Yeah, it was from 2010. Bill has nobody.
Well, technically, I would say Holmgren has Andy Reid and a few of Andy Reid's disciples.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna do like what they did with Shanahan,
because Holmgren,
where does this draw the line?
Because Holmgren has Mariucci and Reid, and there was someone else. Who else was in there?
Right. But then, all of the Belichick trees are Parcells trees. So, where does the tree end?
Fair.
I don't know where the tree ends.
Okay, so I got the Holmgren tree.
We're just talking coaching trees in here. I love it.
Yeah,
this is exciting stuff.
You got Jim Zorn, Mike Sherman, Andy Reid,
Morning Wag, Dick John,
these guys, Mariucci,
and John Gruden. So we have two Super Bowl
and then Gruden's got Tomlin. And then Reid's got
and Andy Reid has Harbaugh.
Well, it's just these three on this one. I saw another one that had a better version. Shermer, Bowles, Childress, Harbaugh, Spagnuolo, Leslie Frazier, Ron Rivera, Matt Nagy, McDermott.
So it's Andy Reid.
And arguably the best of all of them, the only one of them with a ring as a head coach. Well, actually, no, Harbaugh's got a ring as a head coach, right? Yeah, he's got one.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson.
Right.
Does he have a... Well, John does. Jim doesn't.
John has a ring. John beat Jim.
Yeah, right.
But Doug Peterson has the ring with the Eagles.
Yeah, he does.
So that's where that one comes in.
Yeah. This is... Might as well just jump to this. We didn't mention it in the NFL news thing. Payton is the Broncos' new head coach. I feel
that was literally the thing that flipped the trigger to record this week. That was the moment. It was like, all right.
I mean, yeah, but I can't decide whether I think giving up a first round pick for a coach is too much. I
Where
think
did they
it might
find the
be.
first round pick to get? Oh no, the Saints gave
Well,
the first
it was
round.
the Bradley Chubb trade.
Yeah, they got it.
Oh yeah, they got a first round pick for Chubb.
Yeah, it's even though it's the 30th overall pick.
You traded for a
It's a
coach
lot.
who's got the same amount of Super Bowl rings as the quarterback that sucked all year, and it's been to did the Saints go to a second Super Bowl?
No,
No,
they got
They didn't go
robbed.
and lose.
never went and lost. No, they kept losing in the championship game. That's the other
Right.
thing is, and it gets brought up a lot, and I brought it up plenty of times, talking about people would always say the Packers, they're wasting Rodgers and yada yada yada. The Breeze and
They
the
did
Saints,
that with Breeze, yeah.
right? It's almost the numbers are almost the same. McCarthy
identical,
and Payton's
yeah.
numbers, they're almost identical. So yeah, I Sean Payton's a great offensive mind. He also, got suspended and lost control of the locker room because Greg Williams is a maniac.
Right.
And then they went 8-8 3 years in a row, I think, or 2 years in a row. So
That was the year that he went to the Jeff
I didn't
Fisher
watch it.
School of
Stupid
Coaching
movie.
that
Yeah.
off season.
I didn't
Right.
watch that stupid movie. I think it's a lot to give up, but you already spent $100 million on a quarterback, or however much money they spent on the quarterback. Yeah, it has to work. So they're going
Right.
all in on that.
Right. They have no choice.
You got to remember also, like, literally they had what was it? They had to score like
I think
Over
it was,
18 points.
Yeah, it was 18 points. They would have been like 12-5 or something like that.
And their offense opens up once they fired the coach.
It's
So
only like 2 games.
I know.
Their offense opened up once Patrick Starr called them out.
Right. That was the low point of the season.
Patrick Starr
Even
literally
though-
got a coach fired.
Even though,
Good job, Patrick Starr.
yeah, even though from the first game on, we knew it wasn't going to last.
I mean, I love watching that clip from the Madden cast of that first game. Every time it popped up on Twitter.
Right.
I watch it. It's just I think we're gonna call one here. I think we should call one here, and then it gets to the end, and they go. And Eli goes, "I think they're gonna kick it." Shannon Sharp, kick one. Hold on, how long is this? Oh, they're kicking a 65-yard field goal with a $100 million quarterback and 2 timeouts. Perfect.
Yeah.
Love it.
Not ideal.
All they had to do was use one of all they had to do was one of those timeouts.
They could have called one right away and had like 50 seconds. They could have even forget the time they wasted. There was like 20 seconds left. They could have just went for it and then called another one, and still had time to run another play and call another one. It was madness. But again, when we've talked about this endlessly, they brought in Hackett. He gives up play calling, and then he gives up time management. What do you do at that point? What do you do here?
Dead man walking.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps the Jets as their new offensive coordinator. I think we talked about the reason why I think that
Jets better hope he's like the conversation that he's an awesome coordinator and he can never be a head coach again.
I think he's a little more than the coffee getter.
Right.
If we're gonna be honest, if we're gonna go the Adam Gase, Peyton Manning comparison. But he's, I don't know. The Packers had, the best quarterback in the league and the best receiver in the league the 2 years that his offenses were number, at the top. So,
Right.
We will see.
Should be interesting. There are some other storylines going on for the Super Bowl. His first ever black quarterback, which is always good to see.
Yeah.
Finally get
It was
after all
funny
these years.
the way you worded it. Yeah.
I saw a funny
I mean-
tweet about it. It was like a conversation. The guy was like, "So, 2 brothers are matching off in the Super Bowl for the first time," and the response was like, "Yeah," and they both went to Cincinnati, and the other response was, "Hurts didn't go to no Cincinnati."
It's funny.
It's the funny
Ah,
thing. That's
by
another
the way,
matchup. Is the Kelseys. Kelsey
Speaking of the
Bowl.
Kelseys, is Jason Kelsey the greatest center of all time?
No,
No, but he's good.
but he's great. He's very good.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Maybe probably. He's very
I
good.
mean, yeah, if they win in 2 weeks, yeah.
Does winning matter for offensive linemen?
I don't think it
No,
matters for
but
an offensive lineman.
I don't
but
think. Oh, Joe Thomas, you're right, but
Yeah.
it's just one of those. Okay, he has 2 Super Bowl rings.
Right.
It's like,
But I
he's
think,
done.
like, again, it's hard to compare them. Like, you say centers, Jeff Saturday's the first one that comes to mind. Like, he was just as good. But again, who knows?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
like
but like
we
how many?
study-
Like we were talking about this at work today. Like how many centers can you say? Like name 3 other centers and don't include your own team.
It's a good point. Who was the center on those good jet lines in the early 2000s?
Mangold.
No. Was Mangold the center?
Kevin Mawai.
Mawai, sorry. It was
I don't
Mawai.
think he
and
was
then
a center either.
Yeah, he was. It was Kevin Mawai.
Nick was
and
a
then
center.
Mangold.
Mawai went to Tennessee when they
Yeah.
drafted Mangold.
Mangold.
I'm messing up everything here. Can you even get stats on offensive linemen? I'm looking up the Jets roster to see if you can fucking get.
Like, but seriously,
I know
name-
it was a
name-
good offensive line. That's the first one that comes to mind. The Pounceys, or one of the Pouncey centers,
Yeah.
right? Maurice's, I think.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in the league this year. Name 3 that aren't on your team.
But also, I'm going to be completely honest. None of the other ones have a podcast
Right.
or a brother who's the best tight end in the league. So I don't know if I would be able to name them or not. We could name 3 centers between us. If we name our own centers, it'd be good.
Technically, it's only 2 because Danny and I had the same center.
Right,
Well,
but I'm saying we
well,
add Jason
Oh,
Kelsey.
you add Kelsey.
Well,
Your
technically, if
our
we can,
center,
we could be cheap and we could say Feliciano
Nick
and
Gates
Nick
and
Gates.
Feliciano.
Right.
So we get 2.
The Packers have had a lot of rotating. We had a couple centers going on this year. We're all good.
The same thing we were talking about it, like, the only reason why Lane Johnson is because every Giant matchup includes a conversation about Lane Johnson and how great of a right tackle he is. And I even said to my buddy who's a big
Sure.
Eagle fan, I said, nothing will ever beat the Strahan-Runyon matchups growing up.
Right.
There'll never be a matchup like that again.
100%.
Because
He
there was
put
no
90
speed involved in that. There was no speed rush. That was just
It was just
pure
mano a mano.
man
yeah.
on man going at it.
Now I'm just looking up centers. Frank Ragnow. I know him.
There you go. Yeah. Lions.
He went to Michigan.
Corey Lindsley because he left the Packers.
Is
Is
Linderbaum a
Carlos
center?
Ruiz still a center?
Linderbaum was the other guy I was thinking of.
We're just talking about centers now.
We went from coaching.
I'm looking up a list of them. I've never heard any of these names. Alex Mack.
We know Alex Mack.
Sure,
I know Alex Mack.
Okay, Alex Mack, Cleveland, right? Is he still in Cleveland?
He's in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, now he's in San Francisco.
Yeah, the rest of them. This is the top 16.
It was funny we
centers
were
according
having
to
this
PFF.
conversation at work, and my friend's
No,
like,
man.
"Can you name both Giant Super Bowl centers?" And I was like, "Sean O'Hara and Kevin Boss." Not Kevin Boss.
Kevin
What
Boss
was-
is not a center.
Bass or
What was it?
whatever.
Bass.
What
Yeah, I
was
think it
Bass?
was.
Kevin Bass.
BAAS.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
weird. Now the question is, okay, Denny. So you can name the 07 line. Can you name the line from the other Super Bowl?
Yeah. It's Deal.
Deal and Snee. Okay.
Deal Snee.
Bass.
Bass.
Now name the other 2.
Then it was. Hold on. Okay, hold on.
Who remembers offensive linemen?
Kevin
honestly?
Booth. Kevin Booth was one of them. And then Kareem McKenzie.
Was Kareem McKenzie on that team?
I thought he was in the second one.
Who remembers offensive linemen?
So it
No offense
was
to them.
Ready? Because I'm actually looking it up right now. Is this the one? 9 and
Yeah.
7? Yeah, 2012 team.
Deal.
Will Beatty was the left tackle.
Beatty,
Kevin Booth
yes,
was the left
yes.
guard. David Boss was the center.
So I was 4 out of
Yeah.
5. I forgot about Beatty. But
That was the
Beatty-
hardest one.
Yeah. I didn't realize he was on the winning. Like I thought we got him like the year after, or he was hurt that year. Cool.
Oh, wait, maybe this wasn't the year because I see David Wilson's name on this roster too.
David
Yeah.
Wilson was not in the Super Bowl team.
David Wilson was the guy they drafted after they won the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So 2011. Left tackle was still Will Beatty, David Deal, Sneak. Oh, Kareem McKenzie was the right tackle in
Come
the second
on.
Super Bowl.
You don't question Danny in these things.
I had no idea this guy was still existed in the Super Bowl.
Danny, talk about your new podcast.
No, yeah.
Stacey
So
Andrews. Stacey Andrews.
Stacey Andrews.
He was on that
No.
team too.
Really? Wow. No. So yeah, the last couple years, New York Giants Rush has been contacting me to help them out with their podcast and other content things, and I've been dragging my feet along. So once again, after the season, I figured I'd reach out to Craig, who runs it, and all systems go. It was like the quickest thing. I was like, let me talk to my family and you guys first. As long as I'm able to do my podcast with you guys, I'm more than willing to hop on. He's like, absolutely not a problem. Can't wait to work with you because we've been talking about it for the last 2 years. We finally getting it going. I was actually on their draft show for like 5-10 minutes last year, so that was pretty cool.
Okay.
So hopefully one of these days we got to figure out when I'm going to be on the podcast, and I'll be sure to let everybody know. It's been fun being in the group chat and seeing their inner workings. It's like a lot different. Not a lot different, but it's cool seeing a different change of pace than the three of us talking about shows and them mapping things out. So I'm definitely learning a lot more. So that's pretty cool. So let's see what happens. I'm ready for the new challenge along with this. So thank
Sounds
you
like
for
fun.
Craig for letting me join them.
And then what was the men's health? I know you
Oh,
wanted
the
to bring that up a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
And we
so
kinda-
yeah, back in November, I talked about my cancer story with our friend Joe, and his friend Pat has a men's health podcast. And that episode, we found out Patrick and myself are obviously big wrestling fans. So he reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, I know you like wrestling. I think this is a cool idea. We talk about men's health and bring in wrestling into it." So right now we're just doing 3 episodes. We have the second one in the can. Hopefully I should reach out to him. Hopefully this week he brings it out because he's been spacing them out. So the first episode was about steroids, which was pretty interesting. And then the next episode that's going to come out is about drugs and alcohol. So plenty of stories about drugs and alcohol. Ric
For
Flair.
sure.
And all the other stories. So the following episode is going to be drugs, alcohol, and just the whole mental aspect of it. So I guess you can talk about Chris Benoit and stuff. I haven't prepped for that as well, but yeah, the men's health one was been pretty cool. I got to talk to Patrick, see when he wants to come out with the second episode because it was pretty cool. The first episode we gelled pretty well, but it wasn't exactly like all right. It was feeling each other out. But the second episode, we were down pat. We got each other's cadences, and it was really done well.
Down pat.
You'll see what I did there without realizing it. So, yeah.
Boom, boom.
So, a lot of fun
We're all
stuff
here for your
with me right
comedy
now.
needs.
Yeah. So, it's going to be
Here
a
for
fun
the
couple of months.
drums. Yeah, that's good, man. Congrats. It's fun
Thank you.
stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man. Always a good time on all of those.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, they actually had Dane Delton on last night, so that was pretty cool. They like getting interviews of like current and former Giants, so that would be right up my alley. So I can't wait to get the call to do an episode with them. So.
Get reconnected with your buddy Victor Cruz.
Yeah, that would be fun. Actually, that's an anniversary a couple of weeks ago. Is like forever ago. Can't believe that happened. Still.
How long ago was that?
It was whenever the Rams Patriots Super Bowl was. So
2018.
yeah, 2018.
It was probably the game was in 2019, but I think it was the
Right.
2018 season,
Right. Or 2017, 2018,
something like that.
in that ballpark.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, what else do we want to talk about? We didn't talk about the crazy ending of the Chiefs game. That was nuts.
It was nuts, and it was crazy that they punted in the first place. It's a tough spot for that guy, too, because you get, like, regardless of if he gets that first down or not, like, it's not. Obviously, he's trying to stop him from getting a couple extra yards,
Right.
but like anywhere in that area that he pushes him out of bounds, they were still going to be on very long field goal range. But, it's a 15-yard penalty, and they kicked a 41-yarder.
Right.
So it would have been a
60-yarder.
Yeah, it would have been 57-yarder. It's like
It was one of the guys on TikTok from, I think it was NFL Network, or one of those guys who was like, everyone needs to shut up about this guy. Like, because if you watch that entire drive, he literally sacked Mahomes twice.
they
Leading
also
up to that.
probably shouldn't have given up a punt return to midfield. The
Right. Don't put
Bengals.
yourself in the situation.
They tackle the
One,
they
put yourself in
tackle-
that situation.
Yeah.
Two,
It was just so unfortunate.
it was one of those things. It was like he was going, and all he had to do was kind of,
Avoid.
keep his hands down on his
Right.
side.
Right.
And he could have just moved on from that. But
It's tough.
It was just one of those, oh no, this is how it's gonna end. You just feel terrible.
Even
But-
like it wasn't that like crisp of a game. It wasn't one of those things where it's like you hate to see a great game end like this. It was a bit sloppy, but they just I like to I like to think this is almost like karma, like not karma, but like get back, because they had the Patriots beat and there was those dumb penalties. So it's like in the end it all kind of works out.
And once it was just the Bengals were just nonstop talking the whole week, and then the mayor came out, and
the
then
mayor ruined everything.
Yeah, the second and then Burrowhead was lame.
Yeah, you can't. Like you won 2 games there. You can't be doing that stuff.
shout out Travis Kelce at the end of the game, though.
Yeah, know your role.
The Bengals are going to be interesting because you're at the point where you're talking Burrow contract.
Yeah.
Right? So he's got, 1 year plus an option left, I think it is.
Right.
This was year 3, so yes.
He's got the 1 year plus the option left. So
Correct.
Ideally, you're paying him this year. It doesn't matter. You're paying him this offseason.
Probably. Maybe next off something. It's coming up. So your cap.
You're basically going to say we're picking up the option in like a week or so, and then.
Well, yeah, and the Chiefs. You give the Chiefs. You give the Chiefs a lot of credit because they took their cap casualties. They lost Tyreek Hill. They lost Honey Badger, probably their second most important player on each side of the ball.
Right.
And rolled right through it and stuck with it. So now the Bengals, how do they deal with their cap casualties? It's probably going to be T. Higgins.
Right.
You would think. Or
What's the draft pick the Giants have this year?
Or Jesse Bates.
The Giants have the 25th. Well, technically the 26th, but the Dolphins forfeited, so it's technically the 25th.
I'm just saying.
So there's just 31 picks.
I would give up a one this year and like a 3 next year. Or 4
well, of
next year for
course,
Higgins.
of course, but I don't think they're going to keep the band one more year.
I know. It's going to be.
It's
Well,
just-
this is the year. This is the year you're paying Burrow, and next year's the year you got to pay Jamar.
Right, but they're going to lose their best defensive player probably.
Right, because someone's got to go off of that
Bates.
team.
Jesse Bates is a free agent. He's probably not coming back.
That's huge.
Yeah, I mean he's a safety, so it's not like
Right,
he's a
the
linebacker. But he is their most
But
talented.
he's the captain
probably.
of that.
He's up there. I mean, they had like Sam Hubbard kind of stepped up big lately. Their defensive line has been and their defense is kind of it's an amoeba. They do a different thing every week, and it's all kind of just working as one unit. But yeah, he's a big part of it.
You know what's interesting as of right now? They have like 35 million in cap space. Look at it like right now. Like their biggest cap hit is $15 million in Cincinnati, and that's with the 53 active.
But again, like we said, quarterbacks make a lot of money, and like you said, Chase, and you can't pay all. You have two number one receivers and a number two receiver. You can't keep all of them and a star quarterback. So somebody's got to go, and it's going to be Higgins, most likely.
Right. I just don't want to give up.
You would think he wants to be, a number one regardless. Just pecking order wise.
And he's played in big moment. He was the guy that made the big plays in the Super Bowl last year.
The touchdown he made in the championship game.
Right.
Leaped over the other guy and just caught it.
Right.
So it'll be interesting.
So that should be fun to see what happens with him. I mean, Giants are in Alabama right now looking at the Senior Bowl. For all you know, they're looking at somebody and they're like, forget it. We can get some cheap guy without giving up a first pick.
And I think that's the route they're going to go.
I have two baseball things I just want to throw out there. One,
didn't the league say what the cap is projected this year?
Yeah, right now the Giants are at 44 point something. I saw it yesterday. And that was without obviously making any cuts or anything like that. Hold on. Let me find it.
They're looking at a $224.8 million cap.
Right. Just give me a second.
Projected.
What is it now?
Current NFL cap.
So the Giants have $44.4 million according to SportsRec. And this was before yesterday. Bengals had 44.5, but that was before the future and reserve contracts were in. So
224.8.
So yeah, SportsRec tweeted,
Well, there's a big jump coming, right?
Next year, whenever the TV deal happens.
Once the TV deal happens.
Notoriously, that's what happens.
Usually.
Right. You're also getting money coming up soon. Then they get the rights to the NFL ticket.
Yeah, YouTube TV.
Yeah. So that's part of the whole TV. Not obviously part of the TV package, but, similar to. This is really quick. I saw this earlier. This is Baseball Hall of Fame stuff, but just off the cuff. Okay, notable starting pitchers coming up on ballots next year.
Bartolo Colon.
Bartolo, no, right? We're voting no.
He'll have his home run moment in there, and that'll be it.
2 years from now.
The longevity will help him, but no.
2 years from now,
Put him in like 10 years.
King Felix and CC.
CC has a shot.
You think? I thought King Felix. This is their Cy Young.
Oh, King Felix. I'm sorry. All right.
This is their Cy Young race all over again.
Either they both make it, or neither of them make it.
Okay, I see that.
But CC, I think CC had a better longevity in the career that has a shot.
And the other, the year after Cole Hamels, I don't think so.
No,
he flamed.
I didn't even know the guy retired.
And then Jake Arrieta and Lester are 2027. I think those are no's, both guys.
I'm gonna say no for both of them.
Just throwing that out there. Also, this could be kind of interesting.
Arrieta in the playoffs.
The MLB, they're doing their top 10 starting pitchers right now. Jake is number 9.
That's criminal.
That's what tells you about the league, considering he played like a month and a half of the season.
I think that's the main reason. He's number 9. Scherzer is number 4, and Verlander is number 2. Corbin Burns is number 1. Just interesting.
Corbin Burns was number 1.
He's been I think he's been the best.
Yeah, he was the Cy Young Award
And-
winner this year, right?
I don't know, not this year, but last year he was. Sandy won it this year.
Oh, that's right.
But these things they do MLB now is off like a 3-year kind of aggregate, and he won it last year. He was there the year before, and he was great this year too. So
Shout out to Jazz.
didn't
But more importantly, is shout out to the Marlins because
Don't
his
they
trade
hate
value
him?
is now up. His trade value is now has risen because of this, so they could probably get better prospects now for him.
I could have sworn they had a team meeting that the Marlins hated him.
Didn't they not play him?
Well, he got hurt. He was out. I don't think he played in the second half of the season because he was hurt the whole time. But they had a team meeting with Mattingly and was like, I don't know, whatever. He's cool and marketable, sir. So good for him. I also saw somebody made a very good point that this is the last year that those games are going to be on like PS4 and Xbox One or whatever.
Wow, we made it there.
I think. I'm not positive. But if it is, why would you use a big gun like Soto or something like that on when you can use them next year when your game is on all new gen and you could do all new fancy things?
Well, they just used Soto, wasn't he? Last year or the year before?
He was a couple of years ago, but Acuna.
And Ohtani was last year, so you've already used.
Acuna is
those.
the next guy that people think.
He would be the first.
Yeah, he'd be on the. He's on the list.
He would be that first, not PS4, 360, whatever it is.
Whatever, yeah.
Guy,
but
would be my guess.
But also could mean the game is just going to be a carbon copy, which most of them already are. MLB usually does a pretty good job of changing it up, but
they don't really make many changes. I haven't seen any changes yet for this one. Well, at least they haven't made any announcements.
They just announced, just announced the cover. They're just doing their marketing now. I know it comes out normal time, like
end of March.
late March. But
MLB The Show.
I think they said the 28th.
March 28th.
Yeah.
So a lot of road 6:30 starts. I saw also.
That's good.
Oh, I do like that. We only have.
I would like some home 6:30 starts. Would
There's
be
only
nice.
one. There's one home 6:45 start. I looked. They're playing like Texas or something.
I mean,
July.
it's a pain during the week. I get it for some people.
I would be, yeah. I would. The only day I would really do it is like I don't know, Friday night. But it would be nice for the between that and a pitch count. A pitch clock. I think games should be, shorter. The pitch clock is they say cut like a half hour off a game. Which
I
would be nice.
I mentioned it over the summer. I went to the game in Brooklyn and literally they threw the first pitch and next thing I know it was the seventh inning and then we walked out and by the time we got outside the game was over. I was like, you're kidding. And there was 12 steps that I took.
Spring is going to be an interesting spring to watch with all these changes, and I know a lot of guys will be in WBC, but most of them have never used it. Because they're Scherzer went down and did his rehab, and when guys do that, they didn't make them use the pitch clock. They went under their own thing. So I don't know. It'll be an adjustment for I don't know how long it takes, maybe a month to adjust to that kind of stuff, and then no shifting and that kind of stuff too.
Also, they have the electronic refs.
In the minors, they have. I don't think we have the
In AAA, they're using them.
The only thing that I saw that I would like to be implemented is that challenge system. Did you guys see the video on that?
Yeah, where the guy can just kind of tap his head.
Right. That seems quick and seamless, and you get maybe I don't know what the count would be on those, how many you get or whatever. But That seems like a thing they can implement fairly.
If they limit
seamlessly.
the amount that you're allowed to do it, because can you imagine how often
You
it
can't.
gets
You
done?
have to limit it to like one an inning or something. I don't know.
Or not even. Maybe like 3 a game.
3 and you keep up 3 wrongs. I don't know. You can't do 3 wrongs. You'll be here all day.
And
I
then
don't
how
know.
does it affect your regular challenges? That's the other question.
It's got to be 2 separate things.
Yeah. A lot of rules
I
that got to
don't
be
know.
done.
That's wild.
A little interesting programming note, by the way, if you guys had interest to fall asleep to, NHL Network is showing the CHL game, which was supposed to be in a regular CHL arena, but the demand for tickets in Calgary was too high because they're playing against the team that Connor Bernard is on.
Ah.
So they actually sold out the Saddle Dome that the
Wow.
Flames
Where
play
the
in
Flames play.
for this kid.
He's
Like,
insane.
They never even did this for Connor McDavid. That's how crazy this kid is.
Nope, I don't believe they did.
Like, they're saying one in a generational talent is this kid.
Do you know?
And he's got like 60 goals in like the last 3 weeks.
I know. It's tough. It's going to be tough to be better than McDavid has 90 points and it's February 1st. 90. He has 40 goals and 50 assists.
That's the worst part about the trade the Islanders made. Like, now they have no shot at all the ping pong balls for this kid.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
This is the kid. See, the back to that for a little bit real quick is that it's going to be interesting because who knows what they're going to do forward wise, because Horvat's a center, Barzy's a center. Horvat is a guy that Barzy needs.
I think
is what they're
Barzal goes on the wing for now.
He will, but I'm intrigued to see. We lost Walsham. He kind of vanished into a space tunnel
He's done
somewhere.
for the year, they said.
He tore his ACL. There's more in a minute. They saying it's a lower body. We need a bubble. That's what we need, Vin. We need a bubble. Like we got Pellick back for the bubble. We need a bubble. We need a bubble.
I think we need a bubble.
We need a bubble. That's
I don't
what we need.
want to have a bubble.
Can we not have another bubble though? No more
I
world.
don't want
bubbles.
any more bubbles.
No
Dude,
more
it's funny. I think they mentioned it was a Barstool thing. But they were like, we should just have a one lockdown week a year. Like 1 week.
Everybody regroups.
Yeah. You don't go out, you can't go out to eat, you can't do anything. I think society might fall apart, but because like it was never that, the majority of people stayed home, but like anybody who works in a medical field didn't stay home. Anybody who works at a grocery store didn't stay home. So like, I don't know if it would completely work, but something like it, we should give it a shot.
Just give it a little bit of a shot.
Why not?
Oh, playing the Calgary Hitman too tonight. Ooh.
Ooh, brought the Hitman Hart.
Well, with that being said, enjoy if you do watch any of these Pro Bowl things, All-Star things this weekend. Enjoy it.
I always enjoyed the skills competition, so maybe I'll give it a skills.
I always like watching the skills competition.
I think it's Friday night too.
I can't.
Yeah, I just saw the ad. It's Friday night.
I already said I can't watch it. I already gave up.
Yeah, you can't. An hour later, you can't say you can't wait
do
to
it. I'm not watching it. I don't care. Wait, before we go, Tyler Huntley is a Pro Bowler.
Oh yeah, don't look.
How did that happen?
Because players don't want to play it. Dude,
I know, but like
because Tua just came out of concussion protocol like an hour ago.
So why did Trevor Lawrence not get the opportunity?
No,
he's there.
No, yeah, he's there.
He's not there.
Yes, he is.
He was the reason why Tyler Huntley is not there.
No, Allen was the reason why Tyler Huntley wasn't in. I don't think.
Who's the player with Jeffree Star in all these pictures? That's the better question.
I don't really care.
I keep saying it's a Watt brother.
But it could be anybody else but Tyler Huntley. I move on to the next AFC quarterback.
Also, why is nobody talking about how they went to Wyoming and Josh Allen is 6'6"? Just saying.
God, that's it. I'm out.
I'm just saying he's 6'6" and they went to Wyoming.
2023.
I am out.
Well, that's on the league for not accepting that at this point.
Shout out to the Rangers for not doing their Pride Night like they said they would. Good job, guys.
Well, with that being said, enjoy the weekend. And we'll talk to you guys next week for our Super Bowl preview.
See you guys.